So after hundreds or maybe even thousands of hours of prompting Midjourney, I was getting sick and tired of constantly copying and pasting parts of my prompts. You know, whenever you want to reuse an earlier prompt, or maybe just part of it, so you scroll back up to that prompt, you select the text that you need, you copy it, then you scroll back down and you paste it into your text field. But let's face it, that's just an incredibly annoying and cumbersome process. So that's why I decided something needs to change here, and I guess I'm going to have to solve it all by myself. So I went ahead and built my very own Chrome extension that would help me do a lot of the copying and pasting that I usually do while I'm working with Midjourney in Discord. And what began as a very simple 2-button tool has since become a fairly elaborate little extension. And today, I'm going to show you how it works. All right, so first of all, for any of this to work, you obviously need to install the Chrome extension first. And you do that by going to promptalot.com/extension, and that will open up the page on the Chrome Web Store. Now, mind you, this is not the prettiest Chrome extension page. Remember, I built this in a fairly short amount of time. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to install the Chrome extension by clicking the button in the top right corner. And once that's installed, one thing you'll notice is that you'll start seeing this toolbar show up below all of your Midjourney jobs. Now, I know this toolbar looks slightly overwhelming at first, but don't worry. I'm going to walk you through all of the different features and explain to you exactly what each one of them does and what it's potentially good for. Now, just as a rough guideline, the buttons at the top of the toolbar are all related to some form of copying and pasting of parts of your prompt within one of your Midjourney jobs. The lower section of the toolbar relates less to the actual copying and pasting part, but allows you to access additional features of tools that I'm working on. One of them is the Promptalot website itself, which I'll talk about a little bit later. The other one is the Midjourney stats website, which some of you probably already know. And one of the things that I've done is I've integrated some of the features of that website straight into this toolbar. And the last buttons here at the end are more related to the tool itself. Now I'm going to zoom out and give you a quick overview of what this tool does. I'm going to start off with a very simple prompt. Remember, it's not so much about the prompt right now. I'm just trying to show you what the toolbar will allow you to do. So I'm going to enter something like a big red house on a green hill, haunted atmosphere. And just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to add some parameters, which aren't that important, but I need to show you what they do. So what we're going to do is we're going to produce these images, and you can already see the toolbar showing up here. We'll wait for the images to generate. Great, and now we're ready to go. So let's start off with the very first button of the upper section of the toolbar. So you'll see that there's a section called prompt, which means that all of these buttons relate to the prompt itself. So what you see up here, my prompt that I entered, including the parameters. So if I click on the very first button here, what it will do is it will copy the entire prompt, including its parameters, into the clipboard. So if I go back down here into my message field and I enter imagine and then hit paste by, for example, using the hotkey Control V or Command V, then it will paste the entire prompt that I just copied. So where might this be useful? Well, going to your job, selecting the entire prompt, copying it, and then pasting it is a pretty cumbersome process. And even for those of you who like to use the reroll button with remix mode activated, which will allow you to basically just reroll and change the prompt a little bit, that might even be slower. Another disadvantage of using the reroll button to just change your prompt is the fact that you can't use permutations within that remix prompt. So if I enter something in here, like a permutation with curly braces, that would not work. So that's why using this button can be very useful. Now the second button here is the Append prompt button. And as you can see, it says appends entire prompt to what you copied before. Where might this be useful? Why would I want to append my prompt to, I don't know, something else that I copied before? That doesn't really make sense, does it? Well, actually it does. And in order to demonstrate this, let me quickly enter a different prompt first. I'm going to enter something like wide mansion in the forest. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. All right, so let's say I wanted to use one of these images here as a reference image for the prompt that I used earlier, right? So I want to use the same prompt as before, a big red house on a green hill, haunted atmosphere, with those parameters. But maybe I want to add a reference image that I prompted earlier, or maybe later in this case. So what I would do is, first of all, I need to upscale that particular image. And once it's done, I'll be able to use one of the other buttons over here, which is the copy image link button. So what this does is it copies the image link of this particular image here. So you don't need to open it up, right click, or open it in a browser. It's much quicker just doing it this way. So I would click the image link, and just to show you, if I paste it here, you'll see it's in here, the entire image. But now I want to use this image reference with an entirely different prompt. So it's in my clipboard already, but I need to go back up, and then I'll hit this Append button. And what this does now is, if I enter Imagine and then paste it, you'll see that it's basically added the image link at the front of the prompt, which I just copied. And now I just need to hit Enter, and it will generate that image. And now we get a set of images that uses our main prompt, but it also uses the reference image as inspiration. Now, if you do this sort of thing a lot, then I'm sure you've realized by now that this can be a massive time changer. And while it does take some getting used to using this toolbar, very quickly you get used to it, and then you're just much, much quicker. So let's look at some of the other buttons on here. The third button here from the left is the copy image prompt button. So what this does, it will simply copy the image prompt from this prompt up here. Even if there are multiple links, it will copy all of those links and add it to your clipboard. So if I paste here, you'll see it's just the link here from the front. Now, what does the fourth button do? Well, the fourth button simply copies the text prompt. So it will only copy this middle section of the prompt. Let me show you. Paste, and here it is. Now, if I only wanted to copy the parameters at the end, well, we could do that too. That's the fifth button. I hit copy and I paste, and that's just the parameters. Now, where would this be useful? Well, let's say you want to test different sets of parameters that you've used on different prompts already. Well, this would allow you to simply take or enter a different type of prompt for your text prompt, and then you would simply add those parameters at the very end. So it really depends on what you're kind of working on. The sixth button here from the left is the copy seed button. So whenever there is a seed visibly in the prompt, such as here, it will copy that seed number. And as you can see, it's right there. Now, what it does not do is it's not able to retrieve a seed that is not visibly in the prompt. So you will still have to react to a message with the envelope icon in order to then get the seed from the DMs from the Midjourney bot. But still, it can be much quicker than doing it the classic way. All right, so now we're getting to the image section of the toolbar. I already showed you how to copy the image link of a particular job, but we haven't looked at the other buttons yet. The second button within the image section is the Prepend button. So what does prepending mean? Well, prepending is the opposite of appending, which means that it places something before something else. So where might this be useful? Well, let's say I have copied the entire original prompt up here, like so, but now I want to add one of these images here as the image reference at the front of that text prompt. Well, what I could do then is I would go here to this one. Let's say I want to use this image, and then I would hit the Prepend button. What this now does is it adds the image at the front of the text prompt for me. So I don't need to do that manually. So there's basically two different ways how you can approach a situation where you want to build a prompt from different blocks. You can either get the image first, and then you append a prompt, as in a text prompt with its parameters, or you get a full prompt that doesn't necessarily have image references, and then you prepend image references from elsewhere. Okay, so let's look at the third button in the image section. The third button in the image section basically just opens up this image in a new tab. Now, that may not seem like a lot of work, but trust me, it does save you a couple of clicks. So instead of having to open this and then potentially click this, you just have to click that one button and you've got the whole image right away. Now there's another button here, which is the download button. What this does, it will simply download this image into your browser's default downloads folder. Now it doesn't allow you to select a certain place to save the image or to rename it while you're saving it, because that would require more permissions for the Chrome extension, and I don't want it to be too intrusive. But I think even just the saving part can be quite a big time saver for a lot of people. All right, so now it's time to talk about some of the other features in here. I'm going to start off with the Midjourney stats feature. So a lot of you are already familiar with Midjourney stats. It's a page that I built that allows you to check the average waiting times for relax mode in different models of Midjourney. Now, I must stress these are average waiting times. They do not necessarily apply to everyone. If you are a very, very, very heavy relax mode user, then you are going to fall into the dynamic queue of Midjourney, which means that the numbers that you see here on Midjourney stats may not apply to you, and they will be potentially much longer for you, or for others, they might potentially be much shorter. However, these stats are still a good rough guideline, and these are numbers that come straight from Midjourney. So, I mean, I'm not making this up. So what the buttons do here is this blue button will simply open the Midjourney stats website, which allows you to check the actual graphs on here for every single model, right? But if you don't necessarily need that and you just want to know, okay, what is the current average waiting time for the most important models? Well, then these indicators here will basically show you the same three metrics that you see on the website. These numbers here, they update every 3 minutes, and they will also color code accordingly, just like I do on the website. Now, unfortunately, for the past few weeks, it's mostly been red all the time. I'm not sure what Midjourney did, but the waiting times have gotten significantly worse for relax mode recently. I don't know. I'm just not going to comment on it. Who knows what the reasons are. Now let's address the Promptalot section. Promptalot is a website that I'm still working on. It is in beta, but obviously the functionalities are still quite limited. I actually want to do a dedicated video on Promptalot once it's ready, but just to give you an idea of what the plan is, the idea is to create an online repository where you can organize your prompts in a more efficient and structured manner than you can right now. And I also want to go beyond just basically just saving the prompts themselves. The idea is also to allow you to save workflows and things like that. But it's still very much in the early stages because I'm building all of this stuff myself. And obviously my time is somewhat limited. So what can you do so far? Well, let's start off from the right to the left this time. Well, what the third button here will do, it will simply open up your profile on the Promptalot website or a login screen if you're not a member yet or if you're not logged in. What the second button will do is it will lead you to a page that shows all of the prompts that you've saved on Promptalot. Now, how do you save a prompt on Promptalot? Well, that's quite easy. What you do is, and I'm going to do it with this one here. You hit this button here on the left, which is Add Full Prompt to Promptalot. So what this does, it will open up a new tab and send you to the Promptalot website. In this case, it's on my local machine, but in your case, it will send you to Promptalot. And what it does is it opens up the add prompt form and it automatically populates all of the fields. So it adds the prompt up here. It selects the right version if it is visible within the parameters. If it is not, it will simply select the latest version, but you can still change it if you need to. It will automatically pull the image URL and add it here. And then it also makes some tag suggestions based on the contents of your prompt. You can still add new tags. So if I wanted to say a house, well, it already says house. So let's say mansion instead. You can still add new tags and remove others if you want to. And once you're happy with your prompt, you can then hit the save button and it will then store that prompt within your own prompt database. It will redirect me to this My Prompts page, which is also accessible via the profile drop-down menu up here. And basically it gives you an overview of all of your prompts that you've saved on Promptalot, and you can copy them, you can edit them, you can delete them. Basically, it's supposed to make it easier for you to organize your most important prompts. You can also filter by, I need to type it right. You can also filter by certain words. So it's not just an endless list anymore. There's a pagination feature down here. Like I said, Promptalot is still very much in development, and I want to bring it to a point where it's much more useful than it is right now. But I basically had to get that first part right, where it's really easy to just add your prompt straight from Midjourney or Discord into Promptalot. All right, so before we finish off, let me just quickly address 3 more buttons, and it's the ones here on the bottom right. The very first one here with the light bulb is a link to the Promptalot feature request page. So here you can add feature requests. You can upvote other feature requests, and that will help me decide on what to work on next. And the other 2 buttons are basically just meant to allow you to share on social media and help spread the word about this extension, and maybe also about Promptalot for later use. So this is just a quick introduction of how the Promptalot Chrome extension works. Remember, it's entirely free, so feel free to visit the Promptalot website or go straight to promptalot.com/extension to get the Chrome extension installed into your browser. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys next week. And remember, keep on learning. Take care.